The scientific method seems to clearly have its dedications to our surroundings. Think of some of the biggest movements in science within the last 2, 3, 4 decades. It's all been dedicated to space, to biology, chemistry, whatever. We find the most work goes into us trying to understand the world we're living in and the things that occupy this world. That is where the majority of our resources go. Just the things that we pass by in day to day. But something equally, if not more important, that is completely devoided by science and only really gets treatment in academia and philosophy is us. The human, the being or whatever, is the mystery. We are the greatest mystery on earth. Nothing about us has been completely explained. We're still an absolute enigma. There's no sort of understanding of us at all. And anyone who says, oh yeah, there's that theory, all that is a positive theory with little to no evidence and no backing at all. Anything could be true, but we can't definitively say yet. And maybe one day we will, but right now there's absolutely no way we can say either way. And because we're not dedicating the efforts, it becomes almost a zero because we're not trying. So we're pushing that potential day further and further away, when if we were to discover the truth behind the actual mystery that is us, so many more doors would be open and there'd be such wider potential for understanding the surroundings if we dedicated our sciences to the mind and the conscious and the body. Then the world around us would fall into that equally and acquaintedly, and as it should, because we are conscious beings. We shouldn't need to understand objects as objects. We should just need to understand objects as experiences of consciousness, as qualia. But when we are doing both at the same time at different levels, that just doesn't mix well, and it gives us this shady experience where millions of different viewpoints are accepted and conflicting, and really no one knows what's going on. And when everyone is so confused about the most basic core ideas, that's where these deep-seated angers and conflicts and rages that we see all throughout the world come from. And it isn't just the individual being angry or upset over themselves, it is the society being led and being ruled and being run by these misled emotions, because we physically can't understand ourselves. We're working as social machines, we're not working as conscious machines. When you start to accept that a person is a sociological thing working in a system like that, that is completely different from saying a person is a conscious being working via consciousness non-materially. They do not acquaint, and they are far from the same thing. So your results are going to be entirely different, and you can't give one answer for the other because that just doesn't work out. Yet we think it's okay to make that jump, and it's not even an assumption because there's nothing to base that. It's further than a baseless assumption. It is complete lunacy for us to think that is the right thing to do, because we have nothing that has convinced us to do that. So we're just running without what we need to know. It's like we're completely out of gas, but we're filling our car with coal. And it's moving somehow, but it just isn't right. And that is the huge issue with humanity right now. It's our dedications and our alliances to what we believe is the right things to be studying and to be assessing and to be trying to understand, when in reality we don't even get ourselves. So what's the point of understanding our surroundings until we understand what's experiencing them? If I get what this can is, if I understand the chemical compounds of this can, that means nothing if I don't get how I'm experiencing this can, if I don't know how I'm seeing it, how I'm feeling it, how I'm drinking from it. If I don't get any of that, knowing what it is means nothing, because we are conscious beings. We're not a scientific piece. We're not an experiment. We are human beings with consciousness, with brain, with matter and meat. We need to understand and work with that in relation to everything we do, because that's just the system we are in.